Do you find that people are pricing on outcomes or hours?
Still hours. I think working towards outcomes is really where we need to be going in the market. And I'd be interested to hear what your thoughts are on this as well, because we're starting to look at things like 4-day work weeks. But because we're so heavily still built around, most professional services industries are around how many billable hours are you getting into your day and across your week, there's a massive gap there between the productivity that's required and how we're pricing and estimating the pieces of work. If the expectation is that someone's working 30 hours of billable hours a week and we've just cut their week down to 32 hours, and then we're still paying them the same, is the goal now that they just come in and work frantically and don't interact with anyone and don't have any good work experience? Or are we needing to shift the focus? And I think managed services started building towards that in a good way with setting up your monthly costs, and you know what it is, and we're providing you with the outcome and you just pay it. But I feel like from the project side of things, it hasn't carried over. And I sometimes think as well, the client mindset still isn't there with managed services as well. So if it's around, rather than the outcome and us providing a good stable environment and providing you with good outcomes that help you achieve what your business needs to do through utilizing technology, and your focus is on how many billable hours did you squeeze out of it, is it ever going to really be a good relationship?
Yeah.
Do you have
my view is that, yeah, I do. I think when you have a focus on hours, it can work in a couple of ways. One, it can, if you have that repeatability that you've been talking about and really solid processes, it actually, if it's framed in an hourly rate, it actually penalizes you for getting efficiencies into your business.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
yeah.
And I think the other part is that it almost discourages efficiencies, because you could have the project finished sooner for a client, but you're like, then we lose 5 hours of billing, and why would we do that? And I also think there's
exactly. Why not do it slower?
Yeah, and no one wants that. It's a very old school way of going about things. But I think also I think it's in IT generally that we are so aware of the inputs and the technology, and we try and align people who work outside of our industry to our way of thinking and communicate that way. And I think people just care about outcomes. They care about, how are you making our business better? What are you doing to make our business more efficient, more profitable, leaner, whatever? And that comes back to outcomes, not how many hours you're in their office. So yeah, I think to me, it's best to move away from it.
Yeah. And I like that idea too. And that's what I'm talking to a lot of places about, is focusing on the outcome and pricing it on value rather than pricing it on hours. But the hours can be good for generating and building your work plan, so you know what to do. So when you're doing that scoping, it translates nicer to the planning part of your project and building out your phases. But like you said, we shouldn't be penalizing ourselves if we've done something smarter and automated it. We can probably deliver to a higher level of quality now as well. We're essentially penalizing ourselves for not just being more efficient, but providing better quality of what we're servicing, or providing better quality of the services we're doing as well. So it's a bit of a backwards way of going about it in a lot of ways still. Yeah. And it's something I want to work more away from and would like to see more places working away from. But I do think there's still a big mindset around it that needs to be overcome, and people need to be educated through it, not just from our perspectives as providers, but also from the perspective of clients and consumers.